Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Disco Ball Discourse. It's been a while since I've been here, and I know you can see that I have a guest with me today. This is Hayden,
Howdy.
and he's going to join me. Good for him because I talk a lot. I'm going to try to let him talk a little bit.
I may get a few words in, who knows?
Okay, he already knows that that's the deal because this is my boyfriend, and so he already knows how it goes. So he knows what he signed up
She
for.
is a talker. She is just perfect for a podcast.
Yes, that exactly. That's why I started. I was like, if anyone watches this or not, it kind of doesn't matter because I'm going to talk for hours anyway.
Yeah, might as well have a camera on you and see if you can help some people or something like that. Yeah.
Yes, and you know what? That's a good point that you brought up. Well, first of all, before I get into our subject or our topic, I'm going to be doing things off here to the side. It's not because I'm uninterested, because I think people who do
She's lying.
podcasts, no, people who do podcasts and they're on their phone the whole time, are you kidding me? That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Pay attention to what you're doing for a few minutes because we have a goal. So we'll be looking into
Yeah.
the time. So I'm going to look at a starting time. We're at 1:12.
Okay.
And then we're going to try to keep, should I set a timer?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to set a timer because we don't want to bore you guys. We talk a lot as it is, and
Yeah,
we're
we
fine with
can
that.
just BS back and forth, chit chat, yada yada yada. But you're here for something specific. More than likely, in the description is going to be saying dreams, something like that, and that's what we're going to be talking about here. So, this is the dreamer. I personally do not dream at all. I haven't had a dream in quite some time. But this little lady right here dreams all the time.
But tell me, so when was the last time you remember having a dream?
Probably back in 10, 11, whenever I was 10, 11 years old. So I'm 34 now, so it's been a few moons.
Do you remember that being like a traumatic event or anything that happened that, oh,
The most recent one was me having a nightmare about Jumanji. Now, wasn't scared of the movie. I liked the movie, liked all of it, but then I got pulled into the game. And that was a little nerve wracking. So it wasn't like, but it was like, oh my God, there's the monkeys. Oh my God, there's the rhino. And I was not okay with that being 10 or 11 years old. So that was a little traumatic.
I was going to say, I know someone, my daughter, exactly the same way, but she was truly scared of it. She was scared to watch it. She didn't, I don't know if she had specific dreams or if she just carried the fear with her. Guys, that please, I watch horror movies. That is not that scary.
Well, I've never had I've watched The Boogeyman, Annabelle, The Conjurings, all of them.
Yeah.
It's like a baby, just out like a rock.
You don't even have to do the let me watch something cute and funny after to go to bed.
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
could literally be in bed watching just a gore fest of just traumatic experiences left and right, horror, suspense. Oh, that was good, and just out like a rock. I mean,
Okay.
but
Well-
for some reason, Jumanji just, as a kid, I got pulled into the game, and then I was like, this is not okay.
Okay. Well, that is actually really funny if you're not scared of anything else. But as a kid, I guess that is traumatic. Sorry, Kelly. I guess you're right. I'm pretty sure Connor watched it too and then slept. So I don't know. I don't know. Call me a bad mom. I let my kid watch Jumanji.
How dare you?
I know. How dare I? Okay.
William Robbins, how dare
So I have up on our TV screen behind the camera here is kind of our notes so that we'll stay on topic because he and I will talk for hours and hours and hours on all sorts of topics, which is kind of, I know girls do that too, but you and I will just keep going and going and going on different topics. And then we're like, is it midnight?
Yeah, or past, yeah. But our conversations are actually really good, though. It's not just, oh, what did you do today? Oh, I had a piece of toast, and then I woke up. What did you do today? Oh, well,
Yeah.
I drank some coffee and went to work. Like, ours is all over the place, and that's why I actually was interested in doing podcast with you, so, yeah.
Thanks. This is fun, especially because it has been a long time. The last one I did was with Jeff when he came to visit. We had a brand new grandbaby. Well, grandbaby is a grown-up now.
She's pretty much, doing taxes.
Yeah.
She's gone to college.
Yeah, that's what it feels like because she's 3 months now, so it's been a while. Because I was looking back, he wanted to know, what kind of things I'd had on the podcast, and then when I had done them. And so I looked back, and I was really consistent there for a while, and then I wasn't. Life happens, things happen. Not just being a grandma and being busy. Just sometimes I'm not in a place where I can share. I'm not in the mood where I want to give the time and to share in that way. And then I don't want to bring uninteresting subjects.
This is true. You guys don't deserve to have a boring conversation or watching us have a boring conversation for 40 minutes to an hour about nothing. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that to you.
Yeah. And then we also wanted to do like a different setup. So I know Jeff was in the living room with me that last time, but it wasn't this fancy. I mean, look at the disco ball we've got, of course, in the back. And then we've got some lights.
Bougie.
And then also, oh no, did you do the camera setting? Because he has a different camera that we're using, and we're using mics. Do I sound amazing, and do I look 20 years younger? Don't look
I
at the
got
gray
that
hair.
filter on everywhere.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. No, we
bougie
don't.
filter.
Yeah, right. We don't even know how to do that. We were born in the 1900s.
This is
You know,
true.
we
Yeah.
don't know how to
No,
do that.
no. Aren't you supposed to like take some smear and make it look all rustic and all? I don't know.
Okay, we totally don't know. This is a lot more advanced, though. There's a better quality all the way around. You've been good enough to do all the testing on the mics and everything. We got the camera, so
We did that.
we
Yes.
did do that, and I helped move the couch. I don't know what else I did besides be like, I want this in the background.
Pushed it back. Yep,
Yeah.
Yep.
So we've got a different setup, we've got a different quality, and I hope you enjoy it because we are ramblers, but we're going to get on it here.
Yep.
So I'm going to pull up the notes.
We are on a timer. You got to stay on track.
We do. We have to stay on track because now we're at 30 minutes before we have our 5-minute closing.
Oh, Chingo.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So, exactly.
Focus. We need to focus. Here we go. Focus.
So we are going to start. Oh, it already disconnected. So I'm doing screen mirroring. Okay. We're going to start. Like he said, we're talking about dreams. And you're thinking, of this no dreamer, what's he going to talk about? We've got our own segments and sections, and we tried to make notes together but not discuss anything because we didn't want to have a conversation, sit down and have a new conversation. So this is a genuine question and answer. And if I don't like something, I'm going to cut it out. So
The joys of post-production.
yes, exactly. So we may be filming this, on this Sunday, and you're going to see it in 2 weeks because I was picky about what I cut out. And then it's 5 minutes long.
Yeah. We've got this big long deal. We went over our time limit, and I cut it down to 13 minutes and 42
Yeah,
seconds.
it's just going to be talking about Jumanji, and then I'll be like, he's weird. He's so weird. Anyway, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Have fun.
We're going to get on track here. So,
Yes.
speaking of dreams, we're going to talk about the mind. Everybody sleeps, and from what I read, everybody dreams. Now, whether you retain that or not, to wake up and be able to recall it is two different things. So we have two levels of consciousness. We have a conscious, when you're just conscious, and that's your everyday, I'm talking to you, we're filming a podcast, we're in my living room, we're doing
Thinking
all these.
about doing what you're doing, hey, I need to pick up this, I need to put down this, I need to go to this place. That's your conscious.
Yes, and that's every day what we're in control of. Now, your subconscious is totally different. And that's where dreaming comes in, because with your subconscious, it's the things that you have stored in your mind that maybe you're not paying attention to or giving recognition to.
Yeah.
And so it's something that's always in the back there. And I don't want to say we, but humans are not always accessing that for a reason.
I think we also drown that out, or we
Yeah.
mute that. Usually they call the intuition, that little gut feeling, all that stuff. That's usually your subconscious saying, hey, I notice everything. You're focused on this one thing, but your subconscious is seeing everything. So that's where dreams come in as well, where, oh, I don't know how to figure out this problem. I don't know what this is. And your dreams or your subconscious is coming to flood into you so that you can see it visually to an extent. And it's like, hey, here's a solution to your problem. So that's where like the sleep on it. I have a real big problem going on right now. What do I do? How do I find a solution? And somebody tells you, just sleep on it. Well, all of a sudden your subconscious is like, I've already figured this out. You just need to listen to me.
Which is funny because if, let's say, we had someone tell us that we have a problem and they're going to tell you to sleep on it and me to sleep on it, you already know me well enough to know you're going to sleep and I'm going to have a hard night.
Yeah, you're going to wake up like, oh man, I don't got much sleep. And I'm going to be like, oh, okay.
Anyway, did I have a problem?
Yeah.
What was
the
even
problem
going on?
again? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So don't tell everybody to sleep on it because you never know what you're going to put them through.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that could be self-sabotage to some people.
To me. Don't tell me anything. Don't tell me you ate popcorn because I'm going to dream about you eating popcorn at some point in the week. And I'm going to have some sort of, we'll get into this. My dreams are not like happy and fulfilling and everything. I always have a lot of worry. So that's what we're going to talk about. But before we do that, we're going to talk about dream history. My name's on the list up there. It's very short. Egyptians had a lot to do with dreams, so that they have on their ancient writings on the wall or whatever, they have a lot of dreams that they would record. They would even have places where they could sleep if you wanted to dream on purpose, because they felt like they were going to reveal something to you or prophetic. So they were like, okay, you want to do the dream, go over here, have this sleep, and then we're going to record them. So ancient Egyptians did have a lot of that. Yeah, it was interesting. I tried to read some. Yes, they were, and they encouraged it. And it was a good thing. And they thought it was going to figure something out, solve some sort of problem. Other cultures thought it was healing. I don't know if that just meant mental or physical.
That's on some of my stuff. But yep. That is actually.
It couldn't be me. Anyway, also, Sigmund Freud came up in a lot of that. And I don't know what everybody knows about Sigmund Freud or whatever, but he did study dreams specifically. And he talked a lot about your subconscious. And he says that there's a lot of desires or suppressed things that you will have that can only be expressed in your dreams, because you, as a regular person, will not let them happen in person.
Conscious and subconscious.
That's as deep as I'm going to get with that, because there was a lot more. But he's saying this exists within you. You suppress it. You put it aside. But that's what your dreams are, is that something coming through. And there's different types of dreams. And so I guess I could see that in some way.
Okay.
So I should have adjusted my screen to stay on all the time, but it's not. So we're going to do this. Okay. Hayden, this one's you.
Okay, levels of sleep. So you were just talking about the healing part. Okay, so there's technically 3 types of sleeping that has been said through science and yada, yada, yada. There's 4, some people say 3, some people say 4. But there is light sleep. So that's you just laying down. You're just starting to go to sleep. You're still very much conscious, but you're starting to get into it, slowing down. Then there is the second one where your heart rate drops, your body temperature drops, and you start going into more of that kind of meditative, kind of down sleep. Then the deep cycle comes, and that's where they say the healing and the regeneration and all of that stuff, the repair. Okay. So your body starts releasing those chemicals and stuff, your red blood cells. I'm not a scientist or doctor or anything like that, but they're saying, hey, all the stuff that could be going through, all your internal stuff starts to come out, where it's like your enzymes and yada, yada, yada that start healing your body. That's where it comes. So, hey, if you can go into a deep sleep stage for a good long time, it is actually, by science, saying it's healing you.
Which is true. That's why when people have had a good night's sleep and you wake up refreshed and energized, it's because physically, that's why we even shut down that way. That's why humans are like this. You have to shut down and you have to regenerate. And so it's good for your physical body, but probably for people who just sleep to regenerate their physical body, when on the other side, I got stuff going on that's like, girl, I've been trying to talk to you all day.
That's where the 4th state comes in, REM sleep. So you may have heard REM sleep, but it's REM, rapid eye movement. So that's what that is. Now, that light sleep and the REM sleep are almost identical as far as your brain waves and stuff like that goes. So deep sleep, you have the delta wave going on with your brain. And that's that healing and stuff. Then REM comes in where your body is paralyzed. There is no movement in your actual physical body other than just your eyes. Your eyes move at a rapid pace. That's when your dreams come in. That's whenever the lucid and all of that stuff.
Which is interesting. So, stages of sleep, and I used to have not my Apple Watch, but the Fitbit. And I would wear it all the time, and so it would tell me when I hit my different stages, which I don't know if it's because your heart rate slows. I don't know technically how it does that, but I could see when I would do that. And this is the absolute truth, and this is true because I've told you that. I have the most vivid or crazy dreams when I'm napping. In the daytime, 30 minutes to an hour is when I can go there so fast.
Which is actually crazy because sleep cycles. Technically, they're saying it's every 90 minutes from sleep stage 1 to REM, back to sleep stage 1
Mine
to REM.
hits the fast forward button.
Yeah, you're kind of streamlined on it.
Yeah, no, I am. I don't know why in the more, and I'm not even free. Like when I say I've slept that long, I can come home at lunch, lay down for 20 to 25 minutes, and I've had the craziest, wildest dream in that time. I'm wearing all of my clothes, the shoes. Okay, I take my shoes off because I'm laying in my bed. But then I am on a time limit. I'm sleeping with the timer, and I'm not really in bed under the covers restful. And that's when I can go. And sometimes I don't. But that's when I can have some really vivid stuff. And then, of course, at night, which I don't dream all night, I'm sure that would be hours and hours long.
Well, how long does it feel like whenever you are dreaming? How
When I'm
long?
dreaming, I would think I'm having anywhere from a 30-minute to an hour dream because it's like a movie. So when I tell you
Yeah.
the little bits and pieces later, when I tell you about it, I'm telling you the tiniest little highlights. I've dreamt for a long time in my mind. It's really long because I can see details. I can see houses. I can see fences. I can see what the grass is like. I can see doors and windows. I can see
Now,
things in
is it
detail.
jumping or is it like a flow of, hey, I
Um,
was here at the school, then I was going to the haunted house, went through the haunted house, got scared out by the ghost, or is
no, it's
it?
jumping.
It's jumping.
Because
Okay.
I will be at my childhood home, and then I'll be at a school, and then I'll be in the grocery store.
Okay. Okay.
Jump,
So
jump,
you
jump,
didn't
jump.
go from here, drove to here, then
No.
drove to here. Okay.
That's where I can tell it's not real because when I wake up, I'm like, none of that could happen. Also, what is this place?
Yeah.
Some of it's really relatable and some of it isn't. So, to go on that, let's go into the different categories because then we can get more specific. Yeah, I should have set this up better. Lesson learned that I'm going to have to keep doing this.
Well, she's been out of the groove a little bit, so don't judge her. I'll judge her, but you can't judge.
Yeah, and if you want to judge, like and subscribe.
Yeah, there you go.
Leave us a comment
Do
below.
the next one. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Leave us
comment
a
all of your judgment.
Blow up all the comments and just judge away, and I'm going to read them and giggle. It's fine. Okay, so go for it. We're going to go into dream types.
Okay. So I don't know anything about these. I haven't experienced these or anything because I don't dream. She has. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions about
I'm a
some of
little
these
scared.
dreams.
I'm a little scared.
You should be. You should be. Because these are dreams. This is nothing crazy. But
Okay.
normal dreams. So normal dreams basically is the chaotic but has no meaning.
Yes.
Apparently that's that.
Yeah.
How often do you have just normal dreams that are not prophetic, that have no actual rhyme or reason? There's no like connection.
Before I met you and started telling you about dreams and things like that we were discussing, I would say 80% of the time, garbage. Like it was just nothing that meant anything and things were happening. I'd wake up and go, that was crazy. Oh, because I had a dream pretty recently. I giggle every time we're in the kitchen. I have a pizza cutter with an orange handle that was probably $1 10 years ago. And one morning I woke up and I was mad. I was like, I don't know who had my pizza cutter. I did. So Liz and I will giggle about that. I'm like, my pizza cutter. Why was I so upset? I don't know who it was. I don't know where they got it. I don't know if they came in my house and I felt violated. I don't know what was going on. But somebody had my orange pizza cutter and I'm pretty upset about it.
So whenever you come out of those, do you feel emotion? So like, let's say,
Yeah,
like,
mad about my pizza cutter.
obviously somebody stole it. No, that's bullcrap.
Yeah.
That's a violation.
Yeah.
Violation.
Yes.
No, but like whenever you come out, we're going to talk about these too: prophetic dreams or lucid dreams, stuff like that you have controlled, or you do know it's a dream. Do you come out of that with different feelings or emotions other than anger? I know there's going to be one in here what's the chaotic one or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
so not that, but do you feel like you've gained a bunch of knowledge whenever you do your
No.
prophetic dreams?
Okay. When I'm doing normal dreams, I just feel like, thanks, mind, for being so busy that I don't feel like I rested. I feel like it was a bunch of nonsense.
Okay.
But I still will wake up and remember most of it. I don't think I remember all of it, but just a bunch of nonsense. And the pizza cutter apparently got me right in the heart. I mean, it was apparently.
To this day.
Yes, it was apparently the biggest deal. So, no, normal dreams to me are just, that's what it is. And that could be a Tuesday. I mean, it just doesn't really matter.
Lucid dreams. Yeah, lucid dreams. So have you ever been able to actually control your dreams whenever you're in the
Because
dream?
that is what that is. A lucid dream means you know you're dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so that was a tough one. When we were looking at that, I was thinking about exact instances. I've been in my dream and known I was dreaming, but I can't, like people say, you know what, now I can fly. And I jump off and I fly and I'm successful and I fly down to Disneyland or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that. I've been aware that I was dreaming and I would still try to do things like fly or something like that. I'm never successful.
we'll go ahead and roll into nightmares as well. So
I'm good at these.
I was curious. Do you have lots of nightmares?
I think it depends on what a nightmare really means, because to most people a nightmare means like I was terrified beyond the point of return. Yes, I've had nightmares before where I go the rest of the whole entire next day and I'm scared. So it's not just like, oh, I looked at my bank account and it was empty. That's not really a nightmare. Nightmares to me are actual terror that translates into real life.
Now, whenever you say terror, are we talking giant spiders or are we talking traumatic events?
Not as much traumatic events as I dream entities or
Okay,
monsters
so, yeah,
under
monsters,
the bed, that
giant
kind of stuff.
spiders, that kind of stuff. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that kind of stuff is a nightmare to me because I feel like absolute panic. It's out of my control, and this is so scary to me. And the reason I say entities is because I've dreamt of ghosts or scary things or whatever, so that the whole next day I feel very look over my shoulder.
Yeah. Like something's been watching you in your dreams and out. Because,
Yeah.
if it's a werewolf, okay, well, they're not going to be in your dreams and stuff. But
Yeah.
whenever you're talking ghosts, entities, powers, supernatural stuff
Yes.
like that, it's Freddy Krueger type stuff.
Yeah.
Where he can come into your dreams and see you outside of dreams and that kind of stuff. Well,
Yes.
he never really got out of dreams. But anyways,
Yeah.
where they're passing that barrier of conscious and subconscious
Yes.
and reality.
And then I think, why did it scare me so much? Why has it stuck with me for the day? Why am I still terrified? So my nightmares will cross over into, it's the scariest thing you could dream all night, but instead of waking up in a cold sweat and going, oh, you're just dreaming, it's fine, they linger.
They're still here,
Yes.
even though I'm awake.
Yes. And there's a fear. And then it's, why did I dream
Scary.
that?
Yeah, that'd be pretty scary.
Who was that? Why
What
did it
was it?
feel so real? And was I only protected because my eyes were open? Should I go to sleep tonight?
That's some Freddy Krueger stuff for sure.
No, really, it is. So if I say I had a nightmare, which I'd probably say I have nightmares not even once a year, maybe once a year.
Okay, so
True
now
terror.
what?
Yeah. No, not often.
Okay. So now, do you? And I wouldn't call this a nightmare, but like a bad event happening, like the carnival's coming in, and all of a sudden one of your kids is flying off a carnival ride. It's
Yes.
like okay.
Yes.
So now, what kind of dreams would you call that?
Is it on the list? Is that because it's not a nightmare? But I thought, no, that's not one of the other ones. You know what? I'm gonna make it my own category here. Exactly what he said. Not that we've talked about that specifically ever, but I am a mother. I am a parent. I have mom dreams.
There you go. That actually is a good one. There's a few other dreams that aren't like categorized right, but yeah, I like that. Mom
The
dreams.
reason why I think that you're constantly worried for your kids, their health and their safety, and when you know that just things could go wrong, and of course, I'm probably one of those over-the-top moms. I've been called a smother before.
Helicopter mom.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm like, and that's how I do it. They're
They
eating.
survived.
Yeah, exactly. I think so. Like, if there's ever been something that's been a really big event for my kids or a really big upcoming thing, it's always before and not after. But I will usually dream something like that.
Yeah, the what ifs will get you. Don't, and that's dreams or not dreams or anything like that. Don't let the what ifs get you. If it is going to be, it is going to be. But if it's not, don't let it hold you down
Right.
or ruin your present, the future. What if this happens in the future? Well, it hasn't happened. It may not even happen.
Well,
so
and
don't destroy yourself or your good present right now.
If you're not
worried
living and
about
doing
that.
anything risky, because a bird flew in the house the other day and died. That really happened.
Yes.
And that's really funny, but you're not going to be like, I wonder if there's going to be a bird in here every day for the next 30 years. You
Well,
can't
we
live
shut
like
the
that.
flute, so.
Oh, that's
Because
right.
I-
That's right. The mystery was solved. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, no, we
Everybody's
got that, we
okay.
got
One
that.
bird down. Oh, well. A million more in the world.
So,
All right, go to the
reoccurring
next one.
dreams. That's a good one. Do you ever get hit over and over and over and over with dreams?
Never.
Never the same
Never
one?
had the same dream twice that I can remember. However, when I was thinking about that one, I have gone to the same place.
Okay, but
Over
not
and
for the
over.
same reason?
Not for the
or-
same reason. The outcome's always different, but I can go to the same place. Now, I say place, like I have a lot of dreams in my childhood home
Okay.
or where my
okay.
parents live now that they've lived there for 30 years. But sometimes I'll go to the same place that's not a real place, that doesn't exist. Like, I've been there in the dream place, but it's not a real place to me that I've never been to.
Now, is it Is it a building? Is it a space? Or is it a field, mountain?
It's usually a building or like a home or a building.
Okay, so it's a structure of some sort.
It's a structure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and it's not even like Vegas or the pyramids or anything fun like that.
The Taj Mahal? Never been to the Taj Mahal?
No. Like I had to think about it. Like I accidentally went to India.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, you could have, floated off to there. Yeah.
Well, some of the things we have to talk about have to do with that. Go ahead to the next one.
False awakenings.
Yeah, whenever we were doing the research on this and we were watching that video, it was like, I've actually never heard of and experienced that. Because a false awakening is when you think, oh, shoot, it's time to get up and get ready for school, get ready for work. And you wake up and you brush your teeth and you take a shower and you get ready, only to find out you were dreaming.
You're still in the dream.
Yes.
It is a false awakening.
I have never done anything like that. I wish I would feel way more ahead.
So have you ever dreamed, well then obviously not, where it was like, hey, you dreamed that you woke up, you had to get this done, but like everything just kept falling apart and holding you back?
That's within some of my dreams that I will, because something's happening and I know it's an emergency and I need to call 911, or I'm late to work. I need to call into work and let them know I'm behind and I can't dial on the phone. That's the closest thing I've ever had.
I wonder if that would be considered a false awakening. So that was false awakenings, healing dreams. So how we were just talking, the deep sleep healing and all that, but I think there's a little bit more to that. I think it's more of a coming to a resolution of things dream, where you've had a worry throughout, the day, the week, the years, whatever, and you have a dream where everything is all right. Do you ever have those?
When we were watching the thing to prepare for this and it was going over those things, remember, I wouldn't comment, but I was laughing. I was laughing because absolutely not. Like, I've never had anything like that, and I have had death, divorce, disappointment. I mean, the worst things that you could think of that were very real. I hope that other people have healing dreams, because this is how I feel. I had a brother-in-law that passed away unexpectedly, a best friend that passed away in a car accident unexpectedly recently. And my wish, and this is getting pretty deep, my wish, my prayer is whoever needs to have them visit them with, and usually it's in a dream, because you're at your most relaxed state with your subconscious, you're not making sense of anything, and you have the most open channel to whatever this is, relaxation or whatever. I always hope that whoever needs that peace and healing, that they get that from that person or from God or whatever, and they can say, they're in a better place. I understand that. I feel like I saw them. So when I thought of healing dreams, that's what I thought, because I have a lot of things that are open-ended that never got resolved, and I never dream everything is going to be okay. I've never woke up with tears in my eyes and said, I have such peace because I dreamt this and I got this closure and I feel better. So healing dreams made me laugh because I've never had that. My dreams and my dream state are very reminiscent, silly, or panicked, and mostly panicked.
That kind of seems like your life, though.
I mean, right, yeah. It's like the awake me, same. And then go to sleep me, same, more intense.
Hey, if you guys are really liking this and everything, maybe we can do a part 2 and just delve in deeper. But trying not to take up too much of your time, you probably want to go take a nap and have some dreams. So,
yes, we encourage
daydreams.
it.
Hey, perfect time right there. Daydreams. So, daydreams. You're not usually fully asleep, but you are not fully conscious in there with where you're at.
Okay, the way that was described, yeah.
I can daydream. I will say I can daydream. No.
Okay.
I zone out. I can do that where like all of a sudden I'm looking at something and then I'm just fluttering away doing something else. So yeah, I can touch. Yeah, I got this. I'm a dreamer.
Okay, sure. I mean, you don't get the same. You're not on my level.
Yeah,
whatever.
Amateur.
Yeah,
Amateur.
but so everyone probably does though, because like you said, the zone out. Like it's the video we watched that described. You could be in a meeting. You could be listening to something, and you're there. Oh gosh, driving and daydreaming.
Oh.
How many times have you ever got somewhere and was like,
how did I get here?
Was that me driving the car? Because my mind was somewhere else. I would include that in a daydream.
Okay.
You're fully functioning. And that's what it is. You're fully functioning. You're awake. You're not in between asleep or anything.
You're kind of going autopilot.
Yeah.
Like your subconscious takes over your conscious, but your functioning, your body function, everything are still the same. Now, driving is the absolute scariest time
Yeah.
ever, where you kind of teleport, where you're like, oh yeah, I'm in this town. I got to drive all the way to this town. All of a sudden you're there. And you're like, man, I hope I didn't hit anybody.
I hope I stopped at all the stoplights.
Yeah, that too.
Everything.
Yeah, did I
You're
turn
like,
my blinker on whenever I turned? Because I know I needed to turn, but I don't remember turning.
you know what? My dad doesn't have that thought.
He's like, we made it. Sorry for everybody else.
Yeah, no, he has the special driver's license where no signal light ever.
Oh, that one. Oh.
That's what I mean.
Well,
He
he
just
had
says,
to
yeah.
take classes for that.
I
right,
guess
yeah.
it's really advanced. Okay, you'll have to ask him about it.
Special techniques.
Yes,
special
exactly.
Techniques. So,
all right.
Night terrors. Now, this is one step above nightmares. So.
And this you can also include me not on the list.
Okay, I was curious about that.
I've never had that. And for you to have one, someone has to tell you that you had it.
Yeah, it's and it's not sleepwalking per se. It's literally your physical fear or your mental fear coming out through your physical body.
Yes.
You are kicking, screaming, running, fighting, whatever is trying to get you, however it is, coming so intensely through you that it is actually your body reacting to it.
And from what we heard and everything, it's usually children.
Yep.
That have night terrors. So not saying that it's impossible and you can't, but it's usually children. They could even have the illustrations on this video were great, by the way.
Yeah.
But they could have been like punching and kicking and screaming and all of these things. They could have physical effects of the dreams and the night terror that they had. Even stood up, tried to run, fighting your parents, whatever, but they don't know that they had it. They wake up completely fine, and the only person terrified at the end of that is the person who saw it.
Who got to witness it.
Yeah.
Because you just saw this thing. Usually, I mean, if it's your kid and everything, you see them all of a sudden sleep, and all of a sudden they jump up, run, start screaming and kicking the air of nothing. I mean, going Karate Kid on nothing. That would scare you. It'd scare me.
Yes.
I mean,
and my kids weren't like that. They didn't have anything like that because I definitely would have known. Now, some of these other dreams we'll touch on, I guess, I haven't had, but my kids do. My kids are also really great sleepers, vivid dreamers, and I'll let you keep talking.
Yeah, I was about to
I'll
say,
put that in where it comes in there.
sleepwalking. Let's go ahead. Have you actually been around a sleepwalker?
I have never sleptwalked in my whole life that I know of. Been kind of sleepy and done some things, but I was very conscious that I did them. Okay. My son was a sleepwalker in his younger years, like all before he was 10 years old. He has, one night, his dad and I are in the living room. We're up late. We're watching TV. Kids are already in bed. And 10-year-old Connor comes through the living room and tries to open the door. That was one of them. The better story, though, this is funny now. Okay, 6-year-old Connor, maybe a week-old baby Cameron. We've got the other kids to sleep. Cameron's a baby. Put her on the couch at 3 weeks old and we're going to go in the kitchen and get a snack and come back. And I mean, it's just here to there. It's not far. We're in the kitchen getting a snack. I was like, do you hear that? It sounds like, when there's like a cat out in the alley or something and you can hear him kind of meowing.
Okay.
But it was muffled. It wasn't close. It was far away. And then we're like, no, it keeps going. Why does it not sound like it's outside? It sounds like it's inside the house. Go around the corner back into the living room. Connor is asleep on top of our new 1-week-old baby. And she's making noise. It's muffled.
Yeah, she's...
Yeah, because he's laying on top of her. He had no idea. He was asleep. He came in to lay on the couch, and he didn't know, and he was laying on his sister.
He just went to lay down, and she was there, and meh.
Yeah, and that was it. So sleepwalking to that level for him.
Okay.
My other kids, no sleepwalkers. But Connor, for sure, someone that we saw multiple times, and he was absolutely asleep.
Had to wake him up.
We did. I had to wake him up and be like, hey, you should go to bed. And even when we did it that time, I'm not sure he woke up.
Yeah, no, that's kind of that floating back and forth. Yeah, because kids will do that. They're sleeping hard, and then you're like, "Hey, we got to move you from the car inside." They're kind of like,
and their legs move though.
Yeah, but they're just like autopilot and kind of thing. Now, some of them do fake it. They'll be, "Oh, yeah, I'm so sleepy, carry me." Oh,
okay, I used to do that.
Yeah.
I did used to do that when I was little.
Oh no, I'm asleep. Oh,
okay, if I could do that today, I would do that. We just went to the store 5 5 minutes away. I can't go in.
I just can't.
I
I
can't.
fell asleep.
Be like, no, you can walk. You can pay taxes. No.
Now, I'm about to guarantee you've done this
Okay.
because you do it so well.
Oh. Okay, go.
Sleep talking. Maybe not the sleep part, but the talking.
Okay, I'm a really great talker. Sleep talking, yes, you have to have someone tell you that you did that as well.
Yeah.
Yes, medium. I've probably said some things. I've probably been more mumbly. So I don't have a big story around that. However, Connor.
Now hold up. Back to Connor again.
Connor.
Poor kid.
Okay, I have like on my Facebook memories different things that he said at night when he slept from years ago. 10 years old was a big time for him whenever he did it a lot and then it went away. Stuff went away. Okay, except sleep talking, because here we go. So he's a sleep talker, but as he got older, he had a room further away in the house or whatever, so it's not like he was being closely monitored. Well, he went on a mission for the LDS Church, Mormon Church, and you have to have a missionary companion constant the whole time. The only time you room together, you stay together, and then you have different missionary companions that you swap around with. Well, you sleep in the same room.
You don't start with one person and you just go through your 2 years. And
No,
everything?
they mix it up, so
okay.
you could be 2 months, 3 months, 6 months with someone because you change areas and you will change a companion.
Okay.
His missionary companion when he first got there, especially because there's intense study before you get there on scripture study, even the language that they were trying to learn and everything. So that's all you do. You don't watch TV, you don't listen to the radio, you don't do anything. So
Fully
Connor's
devoted.
asleep and he is talking like I'm talking right now, fully clear. I'm not sure that everything made sense, but he was talking about the scripture study that they had done, and the roommate's like awake, like, dude.
Go to sleep. Wait,
Yeah.
you are asleep.
No, he was asleep,
Yeah.
and Connor would talk through the night, a lot of nights for the night, and he's just full on having a conversation. So that's confirmed because it's other people. Usually, you sleep in a room by yourself. Who's going to tell you?
You have no idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't.
or
You
unless
got
you're
no
mom
idea.
and dad and you're a little kid. I mean, and when it's not like that. So that was confirmed. So Connor's 20 years old, 19 and 20, definitely confirmed by his missionary companions. He talks clearly in his sleep. Connor gets married, and
That's what I was curious. Whenever Harper comes around.
no, Liz.
No,
Yeah,
whenever
but-
Harper comes around.
Oh, whenever.
Because I'm curious
Yes.
because he is so devoted and everything. It's on his mind. It's on his study, scripture. He wakes, does sleep talking of scripture. Well, now he just had his first kid. Is that on his mind so much? Kid.
Yes, because he told me about a dream that he had had being a dad for about a month and a half. And I'll let him tell that someday, but it was very in depth for I just had a new baby and all of the worries and fears that came all the way into the college years. And I was like, you've just been a parent. Also, new parents are sleep deprived too.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
it
not
gets
that-
very
not that
euphoric.
he-
Kind of.
He didn't really talk about it or talk in his sleep about it, but you can ask his wife, Liz. She's like, yeah, Connor, what? Huh? What are you saying? Oh, you're asleep. So I don't know how she deals with it every night. We're going to have to
Sleep.
we might need to get both of them to kind of give their back and forth on that, on their dreams and on the sleep talking, because Connor's talking, he doesn't know. The one that's bothered is Liz.
Yeah, she has to answer, but he's like, hey, no, this and that. No, why didn't you hear me? Wake up, wake up.
Yeah. So we're going to have to get their account on that, but I know he still sleep talks to this day.
Yeah, so, and also, if you guys want us to do another dream video or something like that, go more in depth and get more people involved with dreams and just kind of have a dream discussion.
Sure. Or if there's something
Disco ball dream discussion.
This is why we're on this together. Okay,
and
awesome.
we got to stick, because what time are we at?
Let me see. I don't know. The timer went away because we had to stop and adjust and do
we
all that
may
stuff.
have given false information about the length, but I bet we're getting pretty dang close. What time actually is it?
It is.
We
It's
are well
2:04.
past. Okay,
Yeah.
so we started at 12, so yeah, we're at 50 now. We're going to kind of scream through this last one right there. Partner energy, because I am kind of curious about that.
Okay.
And your name is up there, but I have questions.
Okay. Then this means both of us. Okay. What's your question?
My question is, okay, so you said consistently dreaming all the time, take a nap, dream. Now, we meet each other, we go through all the things and stuff like that. I spend the night.
Mm-hmm.
No dream. Now, we haven't, we haven't known each other for years and, slept together in the same bed years and years. But has it been every single time I have spent the night with you?
Yes.
Okay. So, and I've been calling myself her dream catcher. So this is kind of interesting on that. But that was my main thing. So it's been not a little, and actually, well, this morning, I woke up, you woke up, I got out of bed, I went and made coffee, you went back to bed, and you had a dream.
I did, and it was very intense, and it was very short, and it was very full of information, and it was very prophetic, maybe, I don't know, I'll find out. But it was extremely intense, and I was like, that's so weird, I had a dream. Wait, you weren't even in here.
Yeah, the second that I stepped away, apparently, yeah, so partner energy. I want to go ahead and ask that real quick, but the floor is yours.
I would have never thought that was a thing. And I do have someone that I work with. Okay, it's actually, I can tell his profession. He's not on here. It's the mailman. And he's delivered mail to my place of business for a long time. So we'll have chats. How's the grandkids? How's the kids? How's work? All of these things. And one day I mentioned something about dreams or dreaming. And he and I got into an interesting conversation, and he did say for himself that whenever he sleeps at night in his bed with his wife, he can dream here and there, that and the other, but it's there's a little something in between it. It's not as intense, it's not whatever, so that's fine. Then he says when he sleeps on the couch for fun,
by choice.
Of course,
by
because
choice.
Yes, that's what he says, that he can go to another level. He can sometimes mean it, he can sometimes not mean it, but his mind is very much more open, and he can dream more intensely. He has a little more control over them, and he has
more on the lucid side.
A completely different experience if he sleeps on the couch by himself versus if he sleeps next to his wife in bed at night.
And he's also the type of guy who is like frequencies, vibrations, stuff like that. So he was saying that we're on a technically different frequency, and him and his girl are on a different frequency as well.
Yes, maybe, but he said that's interesting because when I was telling him that, we're pretty good friends also, because you don't just be like, hey, did you bring the mail today? Guess what? You don't really do that.
I met a dream catcher.
Yeah, so I was just telling him about that because we update each other on our lives. He's like, are you seeing anyone? I'm like, yes, I am. And then I told him the dream part, and he said, but is that in a bad way that your dream blocked? And I said, no, I actually get better sleep.
Yeah.
Because I'm not being plagued with dreams and thoughts and everything that goes with it. I feel like I get a full restful night's sleep.
She did tell me that. That's why I like happy to call myself. I'm not like, oh, I'm going to crush your dreams. No more dreams for you, Emily. No more dreaming. Like, no, yeah. So she was telling me, hey, I actually got a really good night's sleep. So that's why I say that with a smile and everything. Hold up.
Yeah, it's not like, gotcha.
Yeah, because you're a dream.
Yeah, shut that channel off for you.
No more flying on the dragon for you.
I don't like flying dreams. It's scary. I guess I'm scared of heights. I don't like those.
I was about to say, but you can't fall. Well, no, there is falling dreams. And that's actually not on there. But yeah. Oh, and we skipped one. Amnesia.
Anesthesia.
Yeah, sorry. Amnesia. I was like, that's not
Did you have amnesia? Because we didn't write that on there.
Yeah, sorry, that's my bad.
Okay. Anesthesia. I will say that when it comes to anesthesia, I have never been put under. I have had 3 kids. I've had 3 C-sections, but I had a spinal block each time, so I was awake for everything. Awake. It's traumatic. The first one, especially emergency C-section. But I've never had to be put under for anything. I am terrified. I'm terrified. I get scared to go to sleep at night sometimes. I'm also going to bring this up. We've discussed this, and I know you know this is reality, and so does my audience who's been watching. 2 years ago, when I had my horrible, horrible life change through abandonment and divorce on that level the way it was, I was literally afraid to go to sleep at night. Because of the dreams, and because I couldn't sleep, and when I did, it was so terrible. All of the what ifs that stick out that my subconscious had, they would turn them into something, and they would turn them into something.
4K right in front of you.
They would turn it into reality. And the thing is, there were so many things that I realized and found out later that were true, and I was not in a place to accept them.
Well, that's in the past. We're in the present now. We don't got to worry about none of that.
Yep. Yes, of course. But that's why it was so terrifying to sleep. So now, let's say before I met you, if I were to go to sleep, I'd be like, I hope I get some rest tonight. I hope I'm not worried about graduation cap and gown. And, it's usually things that are going to be fine that you can deal with.
But it's a big deal in your
And
dreams.
I'm the one that's responsible for it. And if it doesn't happen, people are going to be disappointed. And so I will hang on to things like that and I won't sleep. So sometimes I am a little bit like, do I really want to go to sleep? I wish I could just sleep and not dream. And then sometimes I'm like, what if I revisit something very deep? Like I said, my friend that passed away.
Yeah.
That is a hard thing to deal with no matter who you are. And so I want to go there if she's going to be there and we're going to have a good time. But I don't want to go there and experience pain or fear or worry. So it's a fearful process for me. So I'm thinking if I were to go under anesthesia, my subconscious would take over and I can't wake myself up.
Yeah, you were going to be down for hours.
I'm going to have
No
someone
ifs, ands, or
else
buts.
that's taking control of that, and they have to pull me out of sleep. And remember, we were talking about gingers, and that I heard that gingers are harder to put under to go to sleep and harder to take out.
We got some fight in us, I'm telling you.
So for me, that probably wouldn't be a problem. But the problem is if I have my subconscious and my dreaming and whatever this channel is that's open, that isn't open for you, for me, what does that mean to be put under like that? Maybe nothing. Maybe it's like I close my eyes and I open them and I'm back and it's fine. But what if it isn't? I'm going to feel trapped.
And it's something that like you can't snap out of. And it's not like, oh, I wake up. No, it is chemically induced sleep. And there is no waking up from it until...
They wake me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to do it. So I'm afraid to be down under so far that my subconscious goes, we haven't done in a while. Let's just be terrified.
Really messed with you.
Yeah, let's just terrify
shake
you.
it up.
And then guess what? When you want to wake up, you can't.
Yeah. Well, you want to go away? No. Doctor hasn't said so.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess I won't be getting the Kim Kardashian makeover.
That's just fine.
Okay. I guess I'm going to skip it because I'm too scared to go under. But no, that's something that's a really big fear of mine, and I don't want to. And if I could just not, that would be great.
I don't want to, and I'm not going to.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
You're an American. You're still free.
Yeah, sure.
No.
And whatever we do, I'll be like, can't we just do something local? Your arm's cut off, ma'am. I don't care. It's fine.
Yeah, can you
It's
just,
all right.
Get some duct tape.
Yeah,
it'll
it's
be
fine. Okay, so now that we've talked about all the dreams and all of those things, which, my goodness, it's so much information, we still really just touched on it.
Yeah, and we just kind of ran down a few rabbit trails. We were like, hey, I know that she's dreamed a lot. I don't, so I was really interested in that. And especially whenever she said that me being next to her, she didn't dream. Once again, in a good way. But we just kind of went down some forums, watched some YouTube videos and stuff like that, just to try to figure out some of this. So we've only scratched the surface, in all honesty. We haven't really delved deep into specifics of too much. But you are a well-experienced dreamer, so that's why this would have been a good little thing for us.
Is that a way to call me old?
No,
you've been dreaming for years.
Veteran.
Okay.
Would have been that. No, you're a very experienced dreamer.
Okay,
You're a professional
thank you.
dreamer.
Okay. Yeah. Well, since we said that and we talked about that, that's an interest of us talking together because we have become so close. Because we are connected on a different level like that we enjoy having these type of conversations. Now, we're going to end this episode and go into something else. This is kind of the first step of what we wanted to talk about. And now, I don't have crystals and I'm not a hippie and it's none of these things. But the next level of something that happened during one of my dreams is very interesting. And why I said, even in anesthesia, why I'm scared. I've had some other experiences while dreaming that I would like to talk about that really kind of needs its own episode.
Yeah.
It really does.
And before, there is actual science behind it as well. So science has actually started to really delve deeper into spirituality, dimensions, stuff like that. So all of these hippies who are like, oh, no, you can feel the vibrations. Yeah. Well, actually, apparently, no. There is actual stuff out there.
This is not to discredit people who feel something because I can't say what you feel, what you know, what you understand. I'm just saying to my friends and my family who watch this, to the people who have supported me, who have joined the channel to follow, I'm not going off the deep end somewhere. This is the life I've really lived. These are some things that I'm just coming to understand are reality and kind of trying to accept them and to try to see why I feel a certain way or why certain things happen. And so it's to explore it. I'm not off the deep end. I'm not any of those things. I just don't want it to come off that way because that's important to me.
Yeah, no, I don't know exactly how you were before I've met you, but there hasn't been like a, we know what, like nothing like that.
Right.
She's perfectly fine, goes to work. She hasn't just like, like nothing like that.
Well, and I'm a spiritual person and I want to remain and maintain my spirituality, my connection with God. Mm-hmm. And so I don't want anything to seem like I'm worshiping a rock or whatever, or we even talked about
crystals. Okay,
crystals, because people can really put a lot of power into that. Like I said, no shade, just not for me. And then like we were talking about being a Gemini or being a Sagittarius, and things
astrology
like that.
Or something like that.
Good for anybody who that works for, whatever that means to you. But that's not my center of worship. That's not something like that. So my experiences come from something very spiritual, and I want people to know that care about me that I'm spiritually grounded. And not sound
a good way of putting
like it's just like, you know what, life changed so much and I'm just going to run off the deep end with something else. I have a hard time accepting a lot, and there's a lot that I'm trying to understand about myself. So this is part of it that I told him about, and he's like, wait a minute. And then I told the mailman, he's like, wait a minute. Also,
hold up, wait a minute.
Yeah. And then this was like, why do you talk to the mailman about this? Because he's cool. I don't know.
Well, and actually the mailman came in clutch. He really did.
He did.
Like, oh, and he had an acronym for it. And then she was telling me like, oh, wait, huh? And then kind of kept walking through type of deal. I was like, oh.
You know what? He's for sure never going to come on now because he's a very quiet person. And I kind of brought it up that you and I were talking about this subject and going to film. And he was like, and I said, that's okay because it's personal to him.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just saying mailman. That could be anybody.
Yeah.
It's personal to him.
One of them here.
Yeah, of course.
Right, yeah.
There's just the one. He just was like, you know what? This is something I don't mind sharing with you because you brought up a key word that meant something to me. And as we both started talking about that, I didn't realize we had a relation on this subject. And so I just said it. He's like, I don't mind sharing with you. And I hope that you have all that you have in your journey, but it's not going to be for me. And I said, that's fine.
Fair.
I don't mind. Thank you for opening the conversation and for giving me some more understanding even about myself, which is so funny to be this age and still be discovering yourself. But I guess we're evolving creatures.
Well, and you also are on a different trajectory now of trying to actually find that yourself.
Yes, I think that's it. The trajectory in my life has really changed. And even with stage in life, my youngest is graduating high school and I have a grandbaby.
Shout out to her. She silver in choir?
Yes, silver at solo at state solo and ensemble, and then the ensemble got a 1. Yeah, that's what it is. I know. It was great. Just to understand that it was all on the state level. You can't just show up and get a participation trophy.
Yeah.
It was a really big deal.
Yeah, and the state don't play with that.
No, it's Texas. Yeah. Our state can eat your state for breakfast, okay? So it really means something.
We're going to have us some grits today. Yeah.
See? We got to stay on topic. Can't do it. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up then because I think our 40 minutes turned into 4,044 minutes. All right, and I guess you can see that this is a cut because before we were a little bit out of focus.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, not out of sync, but out of focus because, like I said, we are over 25, and mine almost times 2, but anyway.
Yeah, we're dividing, there's math, yeah.
So we're not going to do everything perfect. This is a new setup. This is different for us. We're going to figure it out, but I told him we're keeping what we just did because I want to keep the content because this is an authentic conversation, and I don't want to go back and fake something or be scripted.
Actually, you were able to see visually through Emily's eyes there.
Oh, gosh. I wish I could see that good. Okay, I wish. I wear contacts or glasses, and if I don't have either one of those in, just forget it. It's the worst. So that was on a good day about half. So
Yeah.
that was like if I was crying and I had to look through my crying contacts.
Yeah, kind of like, oh, it's a little blurry here, but
Yeah.
I can still see.
Exactly. So anyway, thank you everyone for joining us on this journey. If you made it all the way to the end of this, you're a real one for that, because
UG.
I know you really are, because this is a lot of rambling, a lot of our thoughts. That's what podcasts are. Some are more interesting than others. We're really interesting to us. So,
Well, this is my first time doing podcasts.
yeah,
So,
at all. Can't you tell he's so camera shy? Whatever.
Very. Oh, yeah.
But, I guess because you're comfortable being around me.
Well, whenever you have an amazing host like this, it just makes it so easy to flow and go with your ideas.
I didn't even pay you the money to say that yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
But it's already Cash App, right?
No.
You haven't Cash App
No,
the money?
no. Listen, it's $5 in cold hard ones that are headed to you soon.
No, I told you I wanted Canadian nickels.
No, okay, listen. I'm not doing all that.
It's in the contract.
You already said it. It's already recorded, so thank you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys.
If you guys would like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can. Then you can get alerts for new content like this, or please don't let me know you're going to do this mess again. It's up to you. But you know what? Even if you watch this, like I do some things to hate watch it or be like, that's weird, that's dumb. Why does her hair look like that? Or whatever you want to do that too. And leave a comment, okay? We don't care. We're having fun.
Yeah, leave a hateful comment, but leave a lot of them. Like
Yes.
don't be easy on it. You gotta really and another thing. Comment.
Another thing. You know what? Some specific people we should not invite to do that.
Probably not.
Okay, yeah, never mind. Actually, we're
No.
amazing and awesome. That's what we're going to do. When we read it, we're just going to be like, you know what? It's opposite day, and they meant the opposite.
Yeah, I'm going to make all of this hate into something great.
Yes. That's what we're going to do, because that is our outlook on life. I'm going to make that happen. I'm saying it even if it's not real. But thank you for joining. Please stick with us through the technical difficulties, and we're going to be back with some more content, and we're going to go further off from the dreams and things like that. And then I've got a couple set up with the other two people that are here with me all the time. I've got my daughter-in-law and my son again, and everyone, once we start talking about doing a podcast or doing one, they come up with their other ideas. So other things will be explored.
Yeah.
And maybe you can be the full-time cameraman.
And maybe I can be better.
Okay. It's a little hard when we're this far. But
Yes,
anyway,
yes.
thank you everyone for joining, and we'll see you next time on the Disco Ball Discourse.